So supervisor is the first line manager who manages the work activities, manages the operative workers with certain limit authorities. When I talk about certain limit of authorities, he's got budget in him, he's got revolving fund, maybe depending on the policy of the company. For supervisor, maybe he's got 5,000 pesos as revolving fund. Maybe he's got 10,000 pesos as revolving fund. He can buy things, stuff for the operation. Okay, like miscellaneous, you know, some spare parts. Uh, when it comes to emergency situation, he has the budget, he has the money, he has the cash to purchase some true petty cash systems and procedures. Okay, then we'll reimburse it. Okay, or not reimburse. Okay, yeah, reimburse. All right. So that's when I said certain limit of authorities. Okay, because not all the time you rely on the purchase order PO. Okay, when it comes to higher amount, it depends on the policy, the limit. Okay, then the PO will have to be processed. He will, the supervisor will prepare the purchase requisitions, PR. Then the PR will be processed and will turn into a purchase order and then will be purchased. But this will take time. This procedure will take time. Maybe some parts or some PO will take about one month, maybe 3 weeks, or even 1 week. The shortest time is 1 week to get these things procured. It will go through process. It will go to approval process. It takes some time. Okay, it will go through the bureaucracy of the organization. Okay, so that's why there is certain limit of authorities given to supervisor to purchase emergency, because it will, the operation will be disrupted, the business this will be disrupted, and the management would not like that to happen. So that's why there is always an exception in every rule. There is always an exception. So you just have to justify the exception. Okay, that because it is needed in the business. You don't want disruption of the business. So that's the job. Okay, so he's a manager. He's managing resources. Okay, so what does it take to become an effective supervisor? Okay, supervisory functions is like manager, like I said. Leading, he's also leading. He's a leader. He's inspiring people, inspiring the workers, motivating them to work, giving them the willingness to work, giving them training, coaching them. No, it's management. Okay. Then control. Also, the stiffest control will be with the supervisor. Okay. In terms of spillage, in terms of pilferage, in terms of wastage, be able to control, put in place as a procedure which both of them, supervisor and managers, will review and agree on. We do the planning, the day-to-day planning, uh, like if 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 this is a manufacturing plant, the supervisor will plan for the production. Like today, he will plan the production for tomorrow. He will get the volume, the demand, or the sales demand from the planning department, and will review it. And then he will check his resources, will check his machinery, whether he's got the capacity. Okay, he's got the rated capacity to produce all this demand, the forecast. Okay, things like that. He always do the planning, day-to-day planning, or short range planning, weekly planning, or even monthly planning. Okay. Strategy planning will be, or long-term planning will be done the manager, of course, with his cooperation, with his participation of the supervisor. Okay. And the supervisor should be able to evaluate. Okay. Okay. Should be able to evaluate the production lines, the machines, equipment, whether the machines would need preventive maintenance, the machines would need refurbishing or rehabilitation. He's part of the team who will do the evaluation in cooperation with the utility maintenance or production engineering maintenance, because the supervisor has technical know-how in terms of operation, in terms of maintenance. Okay. He's also got the management breadth, right? So also evaluate the people. He will do the initially will do the he will carry out the performance evaluation of the people, of the workers, or the performance appraisal of the workers. He will find out in terms of strengths and weaknesses, address the weaknesses, and confer it with the manager for corrective actions. As soon as he find out the result of the performance appraisal, he will carry out the corrective action plan. The action plan will be in place, okay, to progress, to address the weaknesses of the workers, because the supervisor will always think about the continuous improvement in terms of the workers, in terms of the machinery, production line, the filling machines, the packing machines. Okay, pick and place, robots, automation. Okay, so if he's assigned in the workshop, he will be involved in coaching, mentoring, and training the technicians, the welders, the mechanics, the electricians. If he's assigned in the laboratory, this is like a laboratory supervisor. He will look after or oversee the operations of the laboratory, testing raw materials, testing finished products or finished goods, you know, uh, making sure that everybody are safe in terms of the health and safety and welfare of the people under him. That's in the laboratory supervisor. The people working under him are laboratory technicians, lab tech, and many other guys. He could be a supervisor in a construction company, taking care of the people, making sure there will be no accident, and progressing the building of the structure. All the activities. He will plan it, and then brief all the workers, the mason, carpenter, electricians, working at the heights, guys working live on electricity, you know. So as a supervisor, you got what it takes to be a supervisor, like technical know-how, experience, wisdom. That's why some companies are looking for more mature or older supervisor, like maybe 35 years old, 40 years old, even more than 40, 45 years old, or 50 years old, older guys. Because of what? Because of the problem solving skills, analytical skills, decision making skills, leadership skills. Those are the qualities that you need for a supervisor. So now let's talk about the supervisor qualities. Okay. So develop passion in the person for the work she is doing. You need not supervise him, her at all. So, you know, so this is the job of supervisor, putting, passion in them for those workers, for them to work, the best of their ability without even him, close by, doing supervision, doing instruction. That is the quality that you need for a supervisor because he's a good coach, he's a good trainer. Okay, he facilitates, you know, when the new employee is just started on the company, he's giving induction training, on the job training, making sure that this guy will have the readiness level of an employee, you know, to start working on his own. So this is the kind of supervisor that you want. You want him to be good in terms of the training and development of the people. So real measure of leadership quality is not what happens in your presence, but what happens in your absence. Okay. The only, yeah, one of the workers that don't need close supervision is the long haul driver, long trip driver. Those guys who are driving 500 kilometers away, back and forth, 1,000 plus kilometers, doing a round trip of 2 days, 3 days. Okay. They are doing loan working. Loan working. What is loan working? You're not being supervised. Nobody is there, close by assisting you. You're on your own as a driver. You're on your own. You will only have company with you when you are being trained or assessed by a driving instructor. That's the only time that you have somebody with you during your trips. But when you're doing a regular trips, you're working alone. Okay, so you're not being supervised. Okay, that's why very important that the supervisors already instill or infused some of the abilities to the decision making. The driver can do decision making on his own when it comes to emergencies, when it comes to uh, situations, adverse situation. He's already trained and developed by the supervisor, but he's still being monitored by way of GPS, global positioning system, or the VTS, vehicle tracking system. Nowadays, in the advent of this technology, you can, the manager can or the supervisor can monitor the long haul driver through even the mobile phone. You know, the system VTS is installed in the mobile phone. Then the supervisor or manager will be able to trace him, monitor the speed of the trailer. What is the speed? Is he speeding? Is he doing adverse driving habits? The time of stops, okay, the rest period, or the driving hours. Is he following? Is he in compliance with the policy of driving hours policy or rest hour policy? Like in our policy, every 4 hours of drive, then you are given 1 hour of rest. For every 24 hours, in 24 hours, you have 8 hours of rest or sleeping time and things like that. Rather 12, rather 12. After 12 hours of driving, or 10 or 12 hours of driving, you're gonna have 8 hours of rest. Okay, that is a spare policy, and the VTS will be able to track that. Be able to track, and some tractors, they are installed with the CCTV, camera. The camera is, through the system, the internet, be able to watch over your drivers. Those are the only thing, I guess, that they don't need supervision. But anyway, even if they're in the plant or in the construction site, you don't have to, closely monitor them. You only visit once in a while, because supervisor manager has to do the planning. They'll be in the office doing planning or attending some meetings. They cannot be 24/7 looking, like looking the workers, because all the work are already delegated to the workers, and they have been trained and developed, and they don't need close supervision. If you are a supervisor that is doing 24/7 on the side of the workers, and you don't trust your workers, then perhaps you haven't really trained and developed your workers, because you don't trust him, you don't trust her. You have to be at her side or at his side, looking. You don't want the workers to make mistakes, and that's not a good supervisor. You have not trained and developed your guy. So a good supervisor is, even if you're not there, okay, okay. Let me repeat it. A real measure of leadership quality is not is that this is doubled. Is not what happens in your presence, but what happens in your absence. Okay, I hope you got that. They then another quality is earn respect. Okay, you don't ask for respect. You don't tell your worker, okay, come on, respect me. I'm your supervisor. I'm your manager. You respect me. You have no choice, but you have to respect me. You cannot say that. The respect is you should earn the respect. How are you gonna do that? You be on time. You have to have self discipline yourself, self esteem and self confidence and self discipline. You be on time. Be on time on during the meetings. You yourself convene the meetings. Okay, let's have a weekly meetings. All the guys here in the transport, all the guys in the logistics, or all the guys in manufacturing, or even in the support staff, no support services. Who are the support services? HRM, human resource, or the finance team, or they are support services, support department. So even those guys, they have supervisor, and they also have meetings of their own. The supervisory committee meetings, the management committee meeting, mancom committee meetings. So when you do that, you be on time. You have the discipline. You don't want to be late in every meeting. Very important that you don't be late in a meeting. The most hated guys, the most hated guys are those guys who are lazy. Lazy in attending the meeting. They're always late. They always procrastinate, uh, you know, in their accomplishing the plan, the action plan. Okay, because you cannot progress the action plan without attending the meetings, because all the issues, all the things that you're going to do to accomplish is in the meetings. It will be discussed in the meeting. There will be presentation. Okay, there will be progress. What is the progression of the action plan? In terms of our action plan, in terms of health and safety action plan, in terms of quality improvement action plan, in terms of addressing the issues in the manufacturing. There are issues, there are contamination of products, there are rejection of products. All of this will be discussed in the meeting. So you be on time, be mindful of others, you know, even if these guys that you're going to meet are your subordinates, you should be on time. You should be there first before your guys are even coming in. Okay? You be on time. By doing that, you will earn respect from these people. Respect will just automatic. It will come. You don't have to ask it. You don't have to force somebody. Come on, guys, you respect me. I'm your supervisor. You don't do that. Otherwise, you will lose the respect. Whatever respect that is remaining in them towards you will be lost. Okay? So you have to earn it. It's not easy to earn it. You have to work hard for it. You do not talk unnecessarily as a supervisor, unnecessary stuff, unnecessary things, especially in the meetings. You have to be professional all the time. Don't talk about things that are not actually in the agenda. You're talking about the performance of other people, the habits of other people, other departments. You don't do that. Otherwise, if you do that, then your guys will lose respect. What kind of a boss I'm having here? He's talking about his other supervisor not doing good performance, and he's the only one. He always boasting, no. I'm the only one supervisor. We have more than 100 supervisors in this company, and I'm the only one who is doing good. Oh, you're talking, you're trying to, you know, you're trying to impress your guys. You cannot impress your guys by doing that, doing gossips. You impress your guy by doing your own track record, your own excellent performance. That's what you do. Otherwise, you'll not be able to impress your guys. You'll not be able to, you know, you know, get their attention and earn the respect. You be regular to work. You don't make absences. You don't if you don't want absenteeism among your guys, then you don't have to do absenteeism also of yourself. You have to be regular to work unless you are sick or something important happen, which you have to attend. Then you be out of the work. But when you're good for work, then you come to work because your people will always notice you. Your workers or subordinates will always notice you, and they will take note of that, and they will say, what kind of boss I am having? He's not coming to work often. He's outside because nobody is looking after him. No, nobody is controlling him. This is abuse of authority. That's what you say. That's what you call it. Abuse of authority. Okay. Okay. You show the enthusiasm and commitment. Okay. Another thing. If you're not enthusiastic, you are always gloomy. You always look sad, or you're problematic person. Okay. And you're always yelling at everybody. Uh, you know, and you're not looking positive. You are not having a positive your behavior, your attitude. It will show to the people. Okay. So you have to, how can you urge them to give their performance? How can you, encourage people to do their best if they are actually these guys are looking up to you, and they look at you as if you're not interested. You don't have the keen interest in your work. Okay. And you're not showing enthusiasm, and you're not doing all your commitment. So if you want to be, respected, if you want to impress them, then you have to do all these things. No, be a leader, be an influencer. Okay, be a motivator. You motivate these people. So you do things which are respectable. You do things, like you're trying to improve the production. You're trying to improve the performance of the construction guys. Okay, you are thinking of their health, safety, and welfare. Okay, you're thinking of their career path. You're thinking of their career development opportunities. You're thinking of their promotion opportunities. That's what you do. To be, you do all respectable things. You always in compliance with the procedures, in compliance with the policies, in compliance with the methodologies, in compliance with whatever workflow process that you have in your workplace. You follow that to the letter. Then you are a respectable person. Okay. So you be disciplined in your actions and words, your behavior. Okay, that's what you do as supervisor. So those are the some of the qualities of supervisor. Okay, let's go on. Accountability. This is another responsibility, accountability. These are the things that you have to have as quality. No, you are responsible and accountable for the results. You're accountable for the making sure that you produce whatever is demanded of you. Expectation of the management. Uh, we're expecting you to produce 100 metric tons of products today. Okay. No issues in terms of quality, no contamination of cross-contamination of products, good quality. There will be no complaints of the customers. The packaging are looking good. The product tasted good. You will be responsible. Whatever happens, damages, high cost, high CTP, high cost to produce, or accident, you'll be accountable because you are supervisor. It is written in a job description that you will be responsible and accountable. This is part of the job dimension of your job description. Okay, in terms of volume handled, that's in the job description. Okay, in terms of the quality, in terms of the people that are working under you, the resources that you are managing, you know, unless there was deliberate disobedience or non-compliance of your order or a sabotage from the workers. That's another thing that has to be investigated. And again, you have to put control measures in place to controlling the work, okay, because you are managing resources. That would be your accountability. You are a problem solver. You're doing problem solving, analysis, problem analysis. You're defining the problem, identifying the problem, and looking for the root cause of the incidents. Okay, that would be your responsibility, accountability, and responsibility as supervisor. So those are the supervisory qualities. Okay, supervisory skill qualities again, social skill or human relation skills. No, okay, you have interpersonal skills. So make sure that everybody are happy and they are happily doing their job. They're enjoying their job. They enjoy their job. So this is important in supervisor. Uh, how are you going to make your workers happy? Take care of their health, safety, and welfare. Taking care of their well-beings. You know, their difficulties, or or problems in the workplace. Criticize privately to your subordinates. Okay, you don't do it publicly. If you want to scold them, you want to criticize them, if you want to, give, feedback to the people, then you need to criticize privately. You don't want to embarrass these guys, no, your subordinates. If you want to praise them, then that's the time that you praise them publicly, in public. How are you going to do it? You praise them during the meetings, like, oh, this person, Peter, is doing a hell of a job, you know, his best performance of his life. And that's why we're giving him recognition, maybe certificate of recognition, maybe even incentivizing good performance. No, some companies are doing that. They're infusing that in their budget, putting some incentives. Our company, the previous company that I worked for, is like that. They put in the budget the training, the development, incentives, recognizing the people. It's monetarized. No, there are money involved. Okay, so you can do that also. By doing that, you are going to improve your social skill or human relation skill, which is part of uh, the leadership skills. No, you're going to improve your leadership skills if you're going to improve your social skill, interpersonal skill, human relations, your human relation skills. Okay. Okay. Another uh, qualities of supervisor is fairness. You have to have fairness in your subordinates, in your in your peers, colleagues, and subordinates. Many labor issues arise because the workers do not feel they have been treated fairly and equally. Okay. So expect good work from all if you do that. Okay. The government has done their best in terms of the compensation and benefits, no, the pay structure, the grading. As a result from the job evaluation, you make grades, no, like in manual grades, they have, let's say for example, like manual grades 1, manual grades 2, or let's say in our company we call it O1 laborer, cleaner, O2 machine operator, O3 line leader, or times things like that. O4, O5, O6. Then the technical grade, you have T1, maybe stock controller, stock control clerk, or then E2 is like secretary, E3 is like senior stock controller, E4 is like team leader, E5 is like team manager, E6 is like senior team manager, things like that, no? Okay? So the company, as I said, has done its best to make sure that the compensation, the monetary side of this, the compensation is equitable. You are putting uh, equity, okay, for your remuneration, for your compensation. And you, as supervisor or manager, you have to do your own thing, okay? What are the things you can do? The practices that you are putting, that you are exercising in the workplace, like assigning responsibility, assigning, delegating work. You have, let's say, for example, you have 10 people working under you, maybe technicians, okay? You assign fairly, equally between the 10 technicians, okay? You assign equally. Do not overload one person. Do not underload another person. Otherwise, these guys will be, you know, will have issues. You're going to have issues with these guys. In terms of what? In terms of maybe absenteeism later on. Okay, maybe uh, not working hard. Okay, because you are not fair in your treatment with your employee. You have to be fair. If you are going to overload somebody in terms of your workload, delegate every time you delegate. Because why? Because also some supervisors are trusting more this person. You are trusting more this person because this person is having the readiness level that he can do anything that you want to assign to him, any work that you want to assign to him. So he's got the readiness level. So you're you trust him so much that you are assigning, but that this is going to be a problem because that person maybe is accepting this positively, but sooner or later he will realize that he's the only one who's receiving all this work, but the other guys are not working, are not being assigned like complex activities, complex work, or too much work. You're putting too much on their plate, so you don't do that. Otherwise, you have to be fair treatment, like recognizing an excellent performance. You have to have an agreed criteria, and this criteria has to be agreed with everybody. Like, how are you going to how are we going to identify the person who's going to be the employee of the month this month? How are we going to do that? And then you put some criteria, like maybe no absenteeism, and those are the criteria that you're going to include. What else? The output, no, the performance. Okay, and he's not late. Okay, in work, coming to work. Okay, no issues with other co-workers, or you can put several criteria, and then this criteria should be agreed with everybody. This is what I call UAO. If you put the criteria, and you have to have UAO from them, they understand the criteria, understanding, and they accepted it. There should be acceptance of the criteria, and they will own it. Ownership, there will be ownership. So UAO, understanding, acceptance, and ownership. And then when they agreed on this criteria, then they will not complain later on, like, why, how come I don't receive employee of the month? And then he has only himself to blame why he's not receiving employee of the month, because they're after the employee of the month, because they will receive uh certificate, they will receive money, because this is also incentivized or monetized. So he understand already, because there was previous prior agreement to the criteria that this would be our selection criteria. Okay, so that's how you do it. You have to have fairness with everyone. If you want to give time off for someone, you also have to give time off for the others. Okay, don't just give one guy a break and you're not giving breaks to everybody else. So fairness is one of the qualities that you have to implement in the workplace in order for you to be a good leader or effective leader. Okay. Supervisor qualities, another quality should be adaptable. Should be adaptable or flexible, flexible to the situation, flexible, adaptable to the situation, adaptable to adverse conditions, you know, adverse, adaptable to whatever you have in your workplace, in your among your complement. Okay, be ready to manage changes efficiently. Be willing to learn. There are changes from the management, maybe in terms of the policies, and you think it's not favorable to your team. So you have to adapt to that situation. You know, you don't complain as supervisor. You should not be a chronic complainer. Okay. If you are a chronic complainer, then the people will not like you. You will not earn respect. The management themselves will not like you, and you are not a respectable person. So be ready to manage the changes. Uh, Whatever resources that you have, sometimes it boils down to resources. It happens many times to resources, because sometimes uh, you know worst situation needs drastic measures from the management, like we're lacking the budget now, we're not really making good in the market, we have to streamline the operations, You have to make a change management. You have to make some changes. You as supervisor, you have to understand that there are certain situation, okay? There are certain not so favorable situation that you have to cope up, adapt to, like for example, changes in the issuance of materials, issuance of ingredients, issuance of materials. Like for example, in construction, for example, the kind of material that you are asking for is not being given to you because of the cost, you know, of the cost issue. Okay, okay, this brand of material, maybe wood or steel or whatever materials that you have in the construction, no? This is not what you want, the brand that you want. Oh, give me this brand. Give me the 3M brand. Give me the most expensive one brand. What's important for the management is they are looking for the quality, of course, and the cost. Quality, but also with cost. This is the best quality, the best brand, but it's too expensive, and the company will not make, or the contractor will not make money. Also with manufacturing, you know, give you what kind of brand that you like for your materials, for your ingredients, and it's not given to you by the management because of the cost analysis that they were doing, and this is too much expensive, and the quality is not that far anyway, so the quality is almost the same. So you know, you can use this, and it will not affect our quality of the products, the output of the products. It will not affect anyway. So why you buy the expensive one where you can buy the less expensive one or the less costly one? Okay, so those are the things that you can adapt. Okay, okay. You are not it's always something to do with the resources. Always something to do with resources. Okay, and you have to adapt. You have to make the changes. The when the management is doing change management, there is a reason for that. You should be one of the navigator of the change management. You should not be the victim. You feel victim, or you feel like you are not being considered, giving consideration in this new policy or new procedure. Okay? Be cool and calm. Maintain self-control. Don't lose temper. Do not shout. Uh, do not swear. Okay? You're right. So some supervisor, this is most of the blunder or most mistakes of supervisor. They think when they are shouting, or you know, they lose their head, or what you call, they lose their tops. When they lose their tops, the the subordinates will not get hurt. Subordinates will just, you know, shrug their shoulders. Oh, the boss is again angry. The boss is again lose his tops. This is not good for you. You will not look good as a supervisor. If you lose your temper, like a situation like troubleshooting, and your guys are not able to solve the problems in their troubleshooting, and then you lose your tab because you're so pressured. Okay, you're in you're in into into a very stressful situation. or you're into a chaotic situation or precarious situation or precarious conditions. Ah, okay? So don't lose cool because you're not going anywhere. You're not going to solve the problem. You're only adding problems. You're only adding insult to injuries. Any supervisor who is losing his temper, losing his top, will not solve problem. It's not a good problem solver. You have to have calmness in you when you are analyzing problem, looking for root cause of the problem. Like one example, for example, let's say, for example, the product that you maybe you're producing cheese, okay, maybe mozzarella cheese, no, or triangle cheese, and it has contaminated, and it will be recalled from the customer. They're already in the market, and you want the management want to, upon finding out after laboratory test, there are contaminants in the, and you want to recall it. And this is big problem for you, supervisor, because you're the, remember, the accountability is on you. Responsible, you are responsible person. You produce this, okay, and you did not take care in terms of the hazard analysis and critical control point, the HACCP or GMP, good manufacturing practices. You didn't take care. There was contamination, maybe I don't know, some microorganism in the products. It will be recalled. And this is multi-million. You're talking about multi-million pesos lost because there is loss in terms of the raw material cost, in terms of overhead cost, electricity, in producing it, labor cost, shipping cost, no, transportation cost, sales cost, merchandising, so many costs. So if that products will return uh, to the company, the supervisor will, will think maybe it can be, reprocessed, reproduced. But I don't think so. Most of the products like that will be thrown in the garbage. Okay, will be disposed, and your supervisor will lose your calm, will lose your cool and calmness, and will shout everybody, and you will blame everyone, all all the people working under you except you yourself. You will blame everybody for not doing a good work. A supervisor like that is not a good supervisor. You have to blame yourself first before you blame everybody else. Okay? Maybe you're not doing a good job as supervisor. That's why you have a contaminated finished products. So you have to blame yourself. Don't blame anybody. Huh? Don't blame anyone. You blame yourself. You're not doing good in terms of your controlling the controlling aspect of your management or your supervision. Okay? Okay? Okay. So you have to learn from that experience. As supervisor, you have to learn from the experience that nothing is perfect. You have to put control measures in place. You have to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make sure that nothing will happen. No issue will happen. No problems will occur. Okay. So if you lose your self-control, if you lose your temper, if you shout to everyone and blame everyone, maybe you're going to add problems to your already existing problem. Maybe you're going to have a turnover of employee. Employee will resign. Employee will lose their trust also, will lose respect, and they will abandon you. So you're only adding. So every problem can be solved. You're a problem solver. You analyze the problem, you find the root cause, and then you find the control measures that you're going to put in place. Then you'll solve the problem. And the most important is the non-recurrence of problem. As supervisor, you will see to it that there will be no non-recurrence. The problem will not repeat. If you have this problem and then it will happen again in the future, then you're not putting control measures in place. You're not good in doing it, in solving the problem. Because the purpose of solving the problem is what? To ensure that there will be no recurrence of the same problem. The same problem will not repeat. If it is repeating, then the management will lose their confidence in you. Okay? So just be cool and calm and will be solved. All problems can be solved. There is no such thing as unsolvable problems. They can always be solved. You have to find it as supervisor. You have the ability, you have the skills, knowledge, and you have gained so much experience already that you know how you're going to do it to solve the problem. Okay? Another quality of supervisor, be approachable, a very important quality. Always give us a smile and always lending a helping hand, you know, without shutting off feedback by scolding, judging, moralizing, and give importance to the concern. Listen to workers, managers, customers. Okay, you have to listen to them. Be approachable. You should have a open door policy. Whenever, do not choose only the high ranking officer that you're going to talk. You're not talking the entry level workers. Also, maybe they also have ideas, you don't know, and they make suggestions, pro propositions, and then in the end you will decide whether you're going to use it or not. But first you have to accept and analyze whether it's workable or whether it's feasible. you know those are the things that you're going to do. Be approachable. You're trying to win friends and influence people as as part of your leadership competency. If you're not doing that, you're not being approachable, then you'll not be able to win friends. You will not be able to influence people. You will not be able to motivate people because you're not closing your door on them, and you're also closing the door on opportunity if you're not an approachable person. Okay. Okay, another quality, know their jobs. If you don't know their jobs, then you're going to have problem. If one of your employee is having difficulty, it's a complex problem, it's complex issue, and he wants to solve it and he's not able to solve it, then he'll be coming to you asking for help. And the problem is you don't know the job. You don't know their job, then you're not able to help your employee. And that would be a big blunder. So effective supervisor possesses true knowledge of each worker's job. So make things happen when others are intimidated or overwhelmed. Jump in front and show it can be done. You urge them to do it. Okay. You just give a little bit of tips and proposal, maybe suggestion, maybe. Then encourage them that they can do the work. Another quality, committed and responsible. Most employees admire supervisors who are committed to the organization and management policies. Being a management rebel may give short-term popularity but affect the long-term effectiveness. Okay. Always give commitment if you can. If it is within the policy, within the rules and regulations of the company, you can do that. You have to commit, but do not overcommit. Do not put too much on your plate if you cannot commit. You have to ensure that your commitment is successful. Okay. Okay, you have to commit to the compliance of the policies because the policies are formulated for the good of everyone, for the good of the business, for the good of everybody. Because that the policies are guidance, they are our guidance. So you have to be in compliance. If you're not following it and you're always against it, then everybody will be against it. Your subordinate will be against it. Then what's the use of the policy if there is no commitment among the employees? It will not be. You will not reach the into the. You will not get the provision, okay, of meeting the or achieving the goals and objectives, the smart objectives. Okay. Another quality, be innovative. Have courage to try new methods. Okay, you do trial and errors. You try it again until you succeed. No, help others to do it in a new way. Maybe there's some other new way. You just have to discover new ways. There are so many things, so many ways to do a job. Maybe you got used to doing the same job over and over, and you're still not discovering the new methods because you're not trying to do it. So be innovative. That's how you do innovation. That's part of the continuous improvement. Okay, adapt. You have to adapt to the CI, continuous improvement, which is uh, one of the advocacy of the ISO certification, continuous improvement. And be proactive, take initiative, and make things happen. Not being a reactive supervisor, but proactive supervisor. Before anybody do it, you have already done it because you are proactive. You have already found the solution of the problem because you are proactive, working hard for it. You know, being proactive is it's always giving good results, no end results. But reactive person, damage has been done, your incidents already occur, accident already occur, and many issues or problems already occur because you are late in working on it. But if the incident happened before you have done something before the incident or accident happened, you are proactive. You have done something already before the incident happened or the problems happen. So, you know, you'll be surprised. You'll be caught off guard if you don't do it, if you're just a reactive person. You are working on some activities only when the problem happens, and that's reactive. You only done it when it's already done, when it's already appeared, the problems already appeared, and it's too late for that. So before the problems appear, you have done many measures already in place. You put control measures in place already. So that is being proactive. Okay. So be a proactive supervisor. Okay. Give clear instructions and ensure it is understood correctly. Most of the mistakes is because there's an ambiguity. The instruction is ambiguous, not very clear. Not You should give vivid instruction or clear instruction, because your subordinates maybe does not understand and just say yes, yes, sir, I'm going to do that. Then he just did something wrong because he did not understand clearly the instructions coming from you. Maybe instructions is given to him via cell phone. The instruction is given via email. The instruction is being given via the two-way radio or a handwritten notes, and many other channels, no, many other means of giving the message across. And you're not doing it clearly. Make sure that you have to ask question. Do you understand? Do you receive it? Don't be afraid to ask question if you don't understand. Things like that. No, you have to give encouragement. Otherwise, there are going to be problems. That's why supervisors should be a good communicator. You must have a good communication skills. Also, a listening skills. You have to listen whatever the feedback that is being given by the subordinate. You should listen. They're having difficulty, hardships, then you have to listen. Okay, so that's how you do you do it as a supervisor. Always give instruction. That's why in ISO, in the quality manuals, you have procedures, and there is also specific work instructions. Work instructions for operator, work instructions for technicians, work instructions for computer operator. It is included in the quality manual. So the training department or the SME, subject matter experts in the workplace, will do the training. Explain to the workers clearly the work instructions, one by one, step by step. And then you have to do an assessment. What is assessment for? To find out whether they understood the assessment or the the instructions, whether they understood the instructions given to them. Okay? If it is not clear, if they don't understand still, then you have to give the instruction. Then once you have given the work instructions to them and they understood training, then these subordinates will review the manual. When they forget something, then they go back to the manual and then read again the work instruction. Specific work instruction for a machine, filling machine, how to operate the machine, how to operate the digital controls, how to do a risk assessment, how to do this, all the work instructions. Okay? Another supervisory quality is be a good trainer. All supervisors are good trainers. Okay? You do not do the job, train others to learn the job. Okay? Because your subordinates do not understand, then you're going to do it yourself. You're not letting them do it because they don't understand. They don't have the ability. They don't have the willingness. Then you do it yourself. You have to train others to learn the job. Cross-train the people in different functions, no? The warehouse, the laboratory, the manufacturing. Train them. Train the painter to do working at heights. Train the welder to do working at heights, You as supervisor should be a good trainer. Okay, those are the qualities of a good supervisor that we have just discussed. Okay, I hope you understand. Now let's start now with the module one. The module one that we're going to discuss is about the vision of supervisor, vision of managers, vision of leaders. Those people, they are managing resources. They're having vision. So vision is central to leadership. So supervisors should envisage, they should envision. They should have vision. What is vision? Looking at the future. What is the future? The next day, next week, next couple of weeks, next month, next couple of months, the next 6 months, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. This is vision. Vision is looking into the future. Envisage. Very important for a supervisor. This is central to leadership. The vision is central. What is central to leadership? The main attraction, the main thing to leadership. Okay? The most important thing to leadership, vision. How are you going to plan your work if you don't have vision? How are you going to improve your effectiveness if you don't have vision? And how you're going to improve your efficiency if you don't have vision? You have to, you have to feel your guts. Part of your vision, feeling your guts. That's central to leadership. Okay? So vision is looking into the future. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Some companies are doing 10 years strategic planning, long-term planning, 5 years, 10 years. Some companies even doing 15 years, 20 years planning. When you're planning the urban development, it should be 50 years planning. The problem is the government is not doing long-term planning for the city, for the urban development, city development. They're not doing long-term planning. That's why they're failing. They're failing in their governance. They're still flooding, flooding everywhere. There's very heavy traffic everywhere. No urban planning, no long-term planning. You should plan 50 years from now. How much do you think would be your population of your city? How many traffic or road users will be 50 years from now? Did you prepare for it? Did you plan for it? How many people that you're going to feed? Do you have did you improve the agricultural sector? You improve your food supply self-sufficiency? Did you do that? Did you look at the future? Look into the future? Did you plan for the future? Some companies are doing 20 years planning. So local government units should do 50 years urban planning. Okay? For the next generation, you're preparing for the next generation. Because some guys will disappear 50 years from now. They no longer exist. So they're not, they're not be able to, utilize whatever you have prepared for the future because they already died. 50 years from now, they died already. So the next generation will enjoy the fruit of your labor by planning for. The problem is the past generation, the guys in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, they did not plan for us. Or what was 50 years ago? Today is 2020, 2021. So that would be 1970. So those guys in the 1970 did not, plan for the future 50 years today, which is today. If they have done it in terms of infrastructure, in terms of improving the agricultural, improving the quality of life, you know, adding more bridges, adding more roadways, doing farm to market. Until now, we're still talking. They were talking about the farm to market road to no from farm to market road. They were talking about that 1960s, 1970s. Until now, we're still talking about it, and our politicians, no, are still talking about it, and they're still promising us that they're gonna, you know, put the farm to road market, farm to market road, infrastructure. Our electricity is very expensive. Oh my God, very expensive. I'm paying at least minimum average of 2,500 a month for the uh, electricity. I'm not even operating my air conditioning units. I'm not operating anymore because I'm trying to save money. I'm still paying 2,500. My goodness. If I operate all my air conditioning units, I'm gonna pay 4,000 to 5,000. That's how expensive our our electricity. Why? Because the people don't have vision in the past for today. They didn't. Uh, some countries already put up so many uh, nuclear power plant. Japan, South Korea, uh, Singapore, Malaysia, they already power plant, put up power plant. We have one, but we did not. We close it down. We only spend money for it, but we just close it down. No nuclear power plant. Did we develop our hydropower? Did we develop our geothermal power? Did we develop our, sustainable power? We only rely on crude oil. We only rely on crude oil. That's why our electricity is very expensive. Every time I receive I'm not complaining to you guys. I'm just giving it to you as, as our learning curve, so that you understand the importance of vision. Okay. If you are a supervisor and you're only thinking of today, currently, then not good. If you don't have a vision, then you're not a good supervisor. What happened if 1 year from now, the demand, sales demand, or the forecast has doubled? Don't you have enough people to work? Do you have enough rated capacity, plant capacity, to be able to produce those volume, those demand, sales demand? You are planning and vision. You need vision to plan. Okay. Goal setting is an envisage to the future. You're trying to put a goal set. Like, for example, current state, the efficiency of current state today is 90%. Is that good or not good? You have 10% room for improvement. That is the room for improvement. Are you not willing to improve your 90%? Are you not going to make it 95%, 96%, 97, 98%, 99%? Are you not going to do that? You are. You are going to do that if you're a good supervisor, if you are a supervisor with a vision. Because we're going to bridge the gap. What is the gap? The gap is between the current state and the future state. Maybe 1 year from now. So today, I'm having 90% efficiency. 1 year from now, I'm going to have 95% efficiency. If you have a 5%, just 5% increase of efficiency, that would be a big impact. That would be a big difference in terms of your net income, bottom line, in terms of the company making more money, increasing the profitability, decreasing the cost. Because at the same time, you're lowering your cost to produce, or your COGS, cost of goods sold. You're reducing it when you're doing when you are increasing your efficiency. Also, your effectiveness, okay? How are you going to do that? You bridge the gap. How are you going to do that? You're going to put everybody in the training, everybody in the development, so that they will be more effective and more efficient. You have to set your goal, goal setting, because there is a common goal for the organization and the management, supervisor and managers. What is the common goal? To make money for the company. When the company make money, everybody else makes money. Okay? Everybody will get promotion. Everybody will have a career development opportunity. Everybody will be included in the succession planning. Things like that will happen. Because the company is growing, the company is making money. Maybe they will become diversified company. They will put more SBU, strategic business units. They will put up more niche products. Okay. So identify and describe a realistic, measurable, and time-bound goal. What is this? This is the SMART objectives. What is SMART objectives? Specific, measurable, okay, achievable, realistic, time-bound. SMART objectives. You think about in your vision, you think about the SMART objectives, whether the SMART is specific. What is specific? Specific is like, okay, I'm doing SMART objectives. I'm going to improve the efficiency from 90 to 95% increase efficiency. Isn't that specific? Yes, it is specific. I'm going to have 100% attainment of training and development for machine operator to increase their efficiency and effectiveness. Isn't that specific? Yes, it is specific. Isn't that measurable? Yes, it's measurable. You can measure 90% right now. In the future, you want to measure 95% increase. That is measurable. Is that achievable? Yes, it is achievable. If you are supported by the management, if you are supported by the manager, and in your training and development programs, then it is achievable. And the company has provided the resources, the budget, or the trainers, technical trainers, training officers, and etc. Then it is achievable. Is it realistic? Is it realistic to train the 100 people in 1 year? It is realistic. You divide them into 12 months. Every month you have a training machine operator training this month. And then next month you have the operator training next month. until you finish it in 1 year and maybe less than a year. Then in 1 year's time, you have improved your efficiency to 95%. So it's realistic. Is it time bound? Yes. Should be your smart objective should be time bound. 1 year, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, you'll be able to achieve so that you have the result in the first month and the next year. Okay. So you have to do your smart objectives. You have to identify your weakness. You utilize the SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, or the PEST analysis, political, economic, socio, and technology, social and technological. So PEST. Okay. Or you add another PESTEL, environment and the, okay. So PESTEL analysis. Okay. So determine your purpose and position. What is your position for the vision? You want to be number one in the market, or you want to capture all the other markets so that you'll be number one? That would be your purpose and position. Or what would be my position? I want to be number one in the Asia Pacific. That is my purpose and position. That's why I'm doing this smart objectives. I want to be in a position wherein I will get all the customers, I will get all the market, and I will sell all the products to them and be able to earn money. That is my position. And defeat my competitor. That will be my position in the future, in my vision. Okay? Okay. Be able to share, communicate, and articulate your strategic plans to peers, colleagues, superiors, and subordinates. How are you going to realize your goal? Be able to share. Okay, you ask for meetings. Okay, this would be our meeting. Okay, this is my plan. This is my vision. I want to achieve this. Okay, please bear with me. Okay, listen to me until I finish my plan, and then you can ask questions. Look at all these plans. No? Look at the importance of these plans, the criticality of this plan to the business. This is the plan that I'm going to do. This is my plans. This is how we're going to achieve it. This is how I'm going to achieve it. These are the gaps today. We're going to do gaps analysis. We're going to do, going to find the root cause of the problem to be able to, find the solutions. Okay. So that's how you're going to do it. Share it with them so that they will appreciate, and you should be a good communicator. Communicate and articulate so that they will have interest. Their keen interest will grow, and they will say, "Oh, yes, you have a good plan. If that is going to be realized, and we're going to be number one company in Asia Pacific, or even in the whole world. We're number one company, just like Google, just like Cisco, just like Apple. Will be number one." That's a good. We'll follow the footsteps of Elon Musk. We'll follow the footsteps of Jack Ma. Okay. We'll even do our own rocket ships like Elon Musk. Okay, that's his vision. You're planning for the future. You want to make it big in the future. Nobody wants to make it small. Everybody wants to make it big. From a company, an organization always starts from small, and that is always the start of something big, become big in the future. Okay. The essence of supervision and leadership is you have to have a vision. That is the essence. That is the important thing in leadership, influencing and human relation skills is you have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you're blocked. Your vision is blocked. Will stay 90% efficiency forever. And you'll not be able to cope up with the growing demand, okay, of the market. You'll not be able to cope up. You're not increasing your capacity to produce. Like if you are a contractor in construction, for example, okay, are you satisfied with just you know, doing small house contracting? Maybe the house is 500 to 800,000, you know, value of the, you know, one room, two room capacity, maybe 40 square meters, 50 square meter house, a very small house. You are a contractor for that. You will stay as that contractor like that for only for small houses. Of course, you have a vision, right? If you are the owner of a contracting company, you want to reach higher. You want to be like EEI or AGNP, Atlantic Group, you know, and CDC, PNCC. You want to be a big company. You want to be like San Miguel Corporation. No? They're doing, no, they're doing infrastructure. They are now more focused on infrastructure than producing beer, making so much money out of the infrastructure. You know that they're even digging stagnant rivers. No, San Miguel is digging dirt, sediments from the rivers in Tunasan. No, Tunasan River. They are digging uh, thousands of tons, thousands of metric tons of dirt sediments. That's the cause of the flooding in Malabon and Navotas area. Okay, so Ramon Ang is having a vision and is building a Pasig River Expressway. That's vision. He's the only company doing that, no? That kind of vision. He's a different man. Okay. He even proposed the steel elevated highway in EDSA before, only it was disapproved. He was thinking about that. He's always thinking about new projects because he's got the money now. No, they were small before, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and now they're so big that they can buy so many companies and they can do, you know, they have so much money. And you know what? The government is not spending a cent of money in producing the expressway in the Pasig River. He's proposing how is he going to get the feedback? I mean the payback. How is he gonna get it? By charging the road users toll fee. So the government is not spending money. The San Miguel is only the one investing because he got so much money. Their warehouse is full of money. They can spend anytime money. They don't even get money from the bank because they got their own bank. They got their own money. They can, you know, they get billions or even trillions of money. They can do any projects. And okay, Mr. President, we're not gonna charge you anything. This is for free. Okay. Okay, the president will approve right away. He does not have to, you know, to make some loans in the World Bank, in DBP or wherever, you know. So, okay, approve. And then San Miguel will start building the expressway like what they did to the Skyway, no? Skyway. So now they're asking fees from the motorists. Now they're making money. They're trying to get the payback. No, I don't know how long it will take for their payback. Maybe they already calculated that, already calculated the payback, the return on investment, ROI. So that's the essence of supervision and leadership. You must have vision. You see? You see how critical? If you want to get out of the mud, if you want to get out of the precarious situation, then you have to have vision. Okay? Very important to have vision. Critical. Okay, so why do you need a vision? Vision is a picture of a future state that guides current behavior. It's a current behavior, and you're looking in the future 1 year from now, 2 years from now, and you already know what to do. And you have to make your plan, okay, in order for you to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in the future. So future vision must be significantly different than the current state, yet realistic. Okay? So it should be big difference from today and tomorrow. From today and the future. Okay, there should be a big gap. And you are addressing the gap. You are bridging the gap. You have to have gap analysis. So the gap between the current state and future state produces creative energy. Everybody wants to be excited. Everybody are having interest to improve, you know, to accomplish the future vision, because you must have creative energy. We use our imagination. We use our creativeness. We use our innovation. We use our, our knowledge and skills to accomplish the vision. So you are creating energy. We're having synergy. Okay? If you suddenly left your job, would your organization know what to do? In this case, you have to share it with everybody. If one guy, one supervisor, one team manager, one team leader will retire soon, then you have somebody to replace. The succession planning. You have to succeed. Okay. Okay. So you have to have somebody to replace you. That's why you have to share. One of the value that I am proposing to you guys is sharing. You have to share whatever you have to share. When you leave the company, somebody will take over. And he's already realized your vision. I already know your vision. Is familiar with your vision. And he will continue your vision. Just like Duterte. Classic example. Duterte has a vision. He has the build. Who's going to continue it? I'm asking you guys, who's going to continue it? He wants this vision to continue. That's why he's raising somebody's arm for the election, because he wants the legacy to continue, the vision to continue. Somebody to take over, because he'll be completed his term next year, 6 years term. So that's a classic example of vision. Somebody will take over. That's why you have to train somebody. If you leave the company, somebody will take over. Or the president, did he train somebody? Did he develop somebody to take over? Okay. So that's my question. I'm not going to answer. I'm apolitical, so I'm not going to endorse somebody. Okay. I'm just saying it as an example of vision. Okay. Who's going to continue building the Cordoba Bridge? The longest bridge in the Philippines after finishing it. Longer than the San Juanico Bridge. Okay, so that would be your vision. You have to have somebody to replace you, to take over, to continue. So that the company will continue. See, even without Bill Gates, the Microsoft will continue, right? See, Steve Jobs died. Okay, Steve Jobs died. Did the iPhone, Apple company disappear? It is even growing because Steve Jobs already developed the other leaders to continue his legacy, to continue his vision of the Apple company. That's why even with when did Steve Jobs died? Even when Steve Jobs already died, somebody took over and even grew it more further, making it more bigger, larger organization as it is now, the uh, Apple company. I was talking to some representative in the ESTD conference in Colorado, and I asked, "What is your uh, priority in terms of your training, your supervisor managers?" And they said leadership training. Only one question, collective answer: leadership. Oh, leadership will have vision in terms of the growth of everything. You motivate, you inspire. Just by showing the presentation, it's more than enough to inspire them. And you articulate even more to inspire them, to motivate them. And that vision is meaningful. It should be meaningful. What is meaningful? It has value. It will achieve something. It will become from small, it will become bigger. It will become from tiny, it will become larger. That's meaningful and it has value. It will have positive effect to everybody, positive effect to the environment, positive effect to the organization, positive effect to the growth of everybody. It should be meaningful. We're doing it because it has meaning. It is meaningful. That's why we're doing that vision. Understood? Okay. I'll give you a model, an example of our vision. Okay. So success requires organizational and individual transformation. Okay. And here is your current state and this is your future state. Okay. What you do, you have a strategic vision in between. This is your vision. This is your strategy. This is your action plan. This is the things that you're going to do in order for you to be able to achieve the future state that you want to achieve. You need to transform the organization, organizational transformation. Very important. This is the foundation. Individual transformation. How are you going to do it? You're going to develop somebody, you're going to train somebody. All the stakeholders or the critical role within the action plan, within the vision should be developed because these are the guys that going to help you achieve your future state, your future vision. And we're going to develop the organization. We need a very sturdy structure, organizational structure to make it more solid, more get very effective in their task. Uh, making it to the future, always improving. Transform organization, structures align. You're gonna align the structure. Processes, all processes re-engineered. You know, innovation, re-engineered, automation, make it automated. Just like what Japan did, no, in their car production, all automation. Uh, Very high efficiency, very high effectiveness. They are achieving their vision by automating the processes or re-engineering the processes. Systems optimize. You optimize your system to be able to transform the organization. Then transform individuals. New behavioral model established. Positive attitude reinforced. Motivational alignment, critical training and education that you're going to implement. Okay, isn't it a good model? Is it? It is, yeah. Okay, let's go next. So what do you need to do to create a vision for your organization? Your vision should be aligned with company's mission, vision, and values. No, what is your mission? Company's mission to produce nutritional quality products for the consumption of the customer or the consumers to make their lives, worthy. Okay, things like that. No, mission to feed your constituents, to feed your to feed your customers. Vision, your vision is to be number one in the market for the next 1 year, 2 years. Uh, be number one in the Asia Pacific market, to be able to sell all these products to the consumers. And values, values could be adaptable, could be sharing, could be passionate, could be innovative, could be respect, and could be excellence. Those are the values. Clarify the vision of the next level up. You have to clarify to the subordinates, to the teams, involve your team members, and make their involvement, because no man's in an island, or no man's in one man army. You need to help. You need the help of everybody. So articulate your organization's reason for existence, why you're existing, and why you had to have a vision. You articulate that, so everybody understand, and everybody will be inspired and motivated. Unless there is vision, the people perish. Okay? So supervisor should remember that. If you are a supervisor, you have to have a vision. Okay? Start doing that when you go back to your workplace. Okay? Let's continue. Let's do the module 2. What are the competencies for new supervisor? Okay. Can we have a break, please? Start with the module 2, competencies for new supervisors. Very important also to have competencies for supervisor. So what we will consider definition of its competency, why its competency is of vital importance to newly appointed supervisors. The supervisor will not succeed if he hasn't got all the competencies that he needed to be successful in his work as supervisor. So a step-by-step action plan for your self-improvement. So competency is a knowledge, skills, and attitude combined. Actually, you can also include in behavior. So competency is knowledge, skills, and attitude combined. A skill is the ability to do something, like typing, driving. Competencies are behaviors. Learn how to do typing on the keyboard, that is skill. Learn how to type, understand the things you input, and you do it properly, effectively, and efficiently, that is competency. A complete package competency, because you have to have knowledge to operate the computer. You have to have skills to type in the keyboard. So it's combination. It's the attitude that you're putting into it. Okay. So skills are specific, competencies are broad. Okay. Competency combine ability and knowledge. Type of competencies. You have the behavioral competencies, technical competencies, and leadership competencies. Okay. You should have all these competencies for you to succeed as supervisor. These concern soft skills, abilities, the behavioral competencies. What are the soft skills? Your ability to identify the problem, ability to define the problem, ability to define, to identify the root cause of the problem, ability to analyze things, analytical thinking. Those are the competencies: analytical thinking, lateral thinking, uh, communication skills. What else? Communication, ability to to communicate. So ability to make people do the right thing and aim to improve and develop self. Work properly, efficiently, and effectively. Comply with company rules and standard operating procedures. Those are the behavioral. You are changing the behavior of a multicultural work environment. These are behavioral competencies. Making people work effectively, that's behavioral. Making people work efficiently, that's behavioral. Making people change their bad habits to good habits, that's behavioral. Okay. Making people to work hard, do their best, that's behavioral. Technical competencies refers to the knowledge and skills how to operate a machine, how to drive a vehicle, how to service machinery and equipment, how to maintain, how to troubleshoot. You need technical competencies, technical know-how, how to make it work, the machine and the equipment, how to recondition the machinery and equipment. These are technical competencies, know-how and skills, combination. You read a lot of books about the machine. You read about the parts catalog. You read about the service manual. You read about the subscription for you to improve your knowledge. And then you practice it, then that's skills. Practice it every day. Okay, driving, typing, operating a machine, etc. So those are technical competencies. It combine a combination of knowledge and skills. And leadership competencies has the ability to influence and motivate people, able to urge and convince employee to give his best and performance to the best of his ability in order to achieve goals and be successful. These are leadership, influencing people, human relation, interpersonal relationship with people, winning friends and influencing people. These are leadership competencies. Able to get the people to follow you. This is the leadership competencies. Okay. So these are the three most important competencies that you have to have, okay, in you so that you'll be able to succeed as supervisor. Okay, let's talk about competencies now, one by one. Okay, the first one that we're going to discuss is the influence. Okay, this is about leadership. Persuades others to accept a desired point of view, gain support and commitment from others, effects change in behavior of others. The essence of leadership is influence, and influence is leadership, and leadership is influence, vice versa. People don't want to be managed, they want to be led. What do you mean by this? You ask somebody, oh, you do this, yeah, you do that, don't do that, don't do this. But the person is already good in doing job, but you're still make a noise, you're disturbing the person working. That's not good influencing. That's not good leadership. And that's, people don't want to be managed, they want to be disturbed. Okay? They want to be led. You give him the assignment and let him do the work. Then, as you have discussed the expectation earlier, he has given you the result, and that's it. And the result is good, perfect, that's it. And you should be happy, and you should recognize his, being a good worker. Encourage your people, yeah, how to do things, how to give their best, how to do things right. Encourage people. Elucidate the organization's vision. Try to make it clear to them that this is the vision and this is where we're going to contribute to the vision of the organization. So elucidate, model the way, be an example, leader. You lead as an example, model the way. Yeah, everybody will follow you. You're doing it good, you're doing it right, everybody will follow you. And they're doing a good result, they're seeing a good result, then they will follow you. Just model the way. Facilitation. Leads meetings or group efforts without directing the outcome. What do you mean by that? You're making everybody participate, making everybody make suggestion, making everybody think and suggest. Okay? You're not directing, you're just waiting for the outcome. Creates an environment of openness and trust. You trust somebody, they will trust you. Leads groups to decision where all participants feel a sense of ownership. Efficiency. You can inform, instruct, and listen to your people all at once. Sponsoring evenness of participation. Capturing key points. Very important is capturing key points. You will highlight them, no? They will highlight them, the key points, and discuss further for really understanding it and, you know, working on it, not judging what they say and what the things that will, you know, be able to contribute. You think about it, you analyze it, whether it's feasible or not. Don't judge right away. Don't be judgmental. You have to be open and with clarity also, and analyze, make analysis. If this if it will contribute, then you accept, you approve, you concur. Planning and organizing develops comprehensive plans, project plans, monitors progress against goals, assigns clear responsibilities, breaks work down into manageable portions. Okay. Resist the temptation to hold on to the power. Okay. Delegate if you can. Empower people. Empowering your people to make decisions for themselves. No leave alone zap supervision. Okay, don't like be there on the other side all the time, teaching them how to do it, as actually they already know how to do it. Then you just sap them if they make mistakes. I already leave you alone because I know that you know how to do it, but you're making lots of failures, lots of mistakes. Then you sap. That's the time that you zap. Collaborate with your people on establishing work plans and organizing tasks. You have to involve them. Okay, discussions, involve them in the discussions, roundtable discussions or brainstorming. Analysis gathers relevant information, considers broad range of issues and factors, perceives relationships among diverse information, using logic effectively. Working with diverse information, you get information from all sources, from your people, from other people, from your colleagues, from peers, from subordinates, from management. You process all this diverse information, then analyze. Available to consult with your manager, associates, and peers on database problem solving. Thinking logically through a situation that need attention. Decision making. Okay, makes timely and effective decisions. Delaying or putting up or procrastinating. No? Decision can be frustrating to your followers. They expect you to make a decision because they're just waiting for your decision, for you to make a decision. Then they can continue with their work. They can proceed whatever they things that they want critical for the organization. Then they can do it because you promptly decide on what to do, because they're just waiting for you. They are waiting for your instructions so that they can start their work. Windows of opportunity can close on you if you don't make decisions right away. Window of opportunity will be out, will not come in the window, will not come close to you. You are wasting that opportunity. So that's why it is good to always make a prompt decision making. Okay, timely decisions are not necessarily quick ones. Okay, correct You have to analyze first, then you decide. You have to think about all the information, the diverse information I was talking about. You think about it and think of solutions. Then you make a decision. Not like you get the information, then you make decision. You have to analyze first. You have to be an analytical thinker. You have to be a lateral thinker. Base them on solid data and take into account their potential impact on both the organization, your people. So think about whether it's going to give impact to the people, going to give impact to the workers, going to give impact to the organization. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. Delegating. Assign tasks effectively to others while maintaining responsibility for results. Consider skill level of employee and challenge level of assignment. Working with your people in ways that cause them to take personal responsibility for specific work tasks. Make them put their personal responsibility over something or specific work task. Okay. Delegate and let them work. Let them think. Let them put some ideas on it. Let them innovate. Let them improve. Let them learn from their experience. That's delegating. You have to give trust. A developmental strategy. Okay. Developmental strategy means as they go on learning, that's the learning curve, you know. As they go on learning, then they will gain experience. Okay. Stay close in order to observe task-related relevant behaviors and provide specific feedback and suggestion for improvement. Okay. So observe task-relevant behaviors so that you will know whether they're doing it the right way or not, whether they can be trusted or not, and then leave them alone. Unload your routine tasks. You don't do all these routine tasks, no? You can delegate them to your guys. That's why you have these people to work under you to be delegated of some of your responsibilities. You have area of responsibilities that you have to succeed in doing as supervisor. So some of your routine, you're doing it every hour, every day. You delegate it to somebody else. Just train him and develop him to be able to do that kind of job. Okay. Otherwise, you'll not be able to plan, you'll not be able to strategize, you'll not be able to do other things as supervisor. So because you're only doing so many routine activity. Okay. Follow up and commitment. Follows plans through to closure. You need to complete all the plans. You need to complete them. You don't start a plan and start another plan, start another action plan, start another, and you're not completing anything. Okay. You're not going anywhere if you do that. You follow plans through to closure. You have to close it. You have to complete and close it and do another plan, do another smart objectives. Persist despite obstacle keeps their word. Plans failure in the implementation stage. Okay, because it's not being studied, analyzed carefully. So you have to do some changes. You have to make sure that it will be workable. Monitoring progress toward the plan's goal. Adjusting the strategies and tactics used in carrying out as needed. Oh, you have to make changes. Apply good strategies. Running interference for your people. Do not run interference for your people. Okay. Let them do it. Do not interfere in their work activities unless it is necessary for you to do so. So do what you promise. What is your commitment for the company, commitment for the people, commitment for your vision, etc. Communication, very important competency, no? Speaks clearly and expresses self well in groups. You can talk to anybody. You have no shyness in you. No, you have no stage fright. You know, if you have this, you have to attend communication training. You know, very important. You attend communication training, a communication seminar. Conveys ideas in terms the listener can understand. You have to convey ideas that the people will understand you. The most vital competency in this set, the most vital is communication, right? You will be successful if you're a good communicator, supervisor. Yeah, you can self express, no? The problem with other supervisors not able to express themselves clearly and vividly, building on the ideas of others. People have to understand your speech. It's not, it should be clear. And goals is to make your message clear, to be understood accurately. Okay. Listening, demonstrating attention to and conveys understanding of others. Commit to a lifetime of self-development in this area in learning how to listen. No, requires keeping your mind open to what others say. You have to keep your mind open and understand and clear. It should be clear that you understand the message. So be a good listener. Requires attending well to both the content of what they say and also the feelings that may be expressing. So listen intently and carefully. So you have to have understanding. If you are not a good listener, then you will not be able to do what you have committed and what you promised. Checking your understanding of others' messages. Number 10, managing conflict. Identify sources of conflict. Uses conflict as a constructive process to exchange ideas. Keeps energy focused on desired outcomes. Conflict is seldom resolved, okay? But it should be managed. Isolate its root causes. So you find all the root causes. Right? It could be direct cause, could be indirect cause, it could be underlying cause, whatever it is. Isolate them, you know, trying to solve the problem. Competent in consulting with others in conflict with each other. Commitment to shared goals. We have to commit to the shared goals of the company and the other departments. Keeping all exchanges within the context of desired results. Okay. So when you have conflict, when you have arguments, you try to meet between, try to read between the lines and meet, at the end, whether there will be, where the common goals will be succeeded or not. So if you have conflict, try to go around it, okay, to solve the problem. Foster teamwork, clarifies roles and responsibilities, build a team. Supervisor having more people reporting directly to them, less time with individual associates, forging work teams from groups of employees whose work is interdependent, and searching for synergy between teams, making sure that individual members have clear roles and responsibilities. Okay? The company will not grow if the teams are not there to work together or the leaderships are not working together. They have to work together. They have to force the team, maybe through activities, team building activities, maybe training again, coaching, okay, guiding, okay. Many solutions you can find to foster teamwork. Uh, there should be a positive climate, positive culture, so that everybody will work together. And the management, from manager supervisor, should be the one who should initiate the team building, because even in other areas like in basketball, sports, if there is no teamwork, the team will not become champion. Okay, even in boxing, no, boxing, the teamwork between the trainer and the boxer, there will be teamwork. If they're not understanding each other, then there will be problem. In construction, there will be teamwork. if the mason and the carpenter are not working together, then the building they are building, the structure they're building is not will not be sturdy, will not be strong enough. Okay, it doesn't work if the team is absent, is not present. Technical functional expertise, another competency, possesses current knowledge of profession and industry. And he can be regarded as an expert. If you have this sound technical know-how, then you are an expert. That's why everybody will be called subject matter expert, because they will now do the training, they will do coaching, because they are SME, subject matter expert. Absolutely need to know the work. Okay? You know the work, you know the environment, you know the machines, you know the all the components, you know how they work, the principles of the operation, you know it. Not only a troubleshooter, not only a troubleshooter, but also you can troubleshoot and you can understand and you can help the technicians, improve their skills. Viewed as both knowledgeable and skillful, you be knowledgeable and skillful because you gain this from experience, for long experience. That's why, you already have the maturity. Okay. Committed to remaining current in your ability so that you improve, continuously studying emerging trends, new technology coming from the market and effective practices coming from the market. So what you do is you benchmark why other organizations are successful. You benchmark what are they doing that they are successful. So you try to copy their practices, their habits, working habits, their technical know-how, what kind of training that they are attending, external training, etc. Time management, okay, sets efficient work priorities. You always have to prioritize. Can work on many tasks simultaneously, balances importance and urgency of tasks. Competent in multitasking, okay? Competent in multitasking. If you can do it, but if you can't do it, you only start the work but not completing it, then do not do multitasking. You do it one by one. One first, then completed, another one first. But you have to classify in terms of urgency, in terms of importance. So you do priorities, okay? You prioritize which one you want to do, the first one, and the next one, the third one. You prioritize. So expect many interruptions. When you do something, something will come up. Your boss, your peers, your colleagues, or your subordinates. But still, you have to prioritize. Do not let them interrupt whatever you're doing right now. You have to complete it. Then, unless they are in emergency, do not bother to change your priority. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble again. Knowing when to drop everything, you drop everything if it is necessary to drop them. The less important, the not so urgent, drop them because it's eating up your time. So you are doing time management, right? So knowing what is important, what is comparatively trivial. So trivial, you can drop them. Maybe do it next time around. Do the important things first. Apply the 80-20 principles, the 80-20 principles. Apply them. The important, the urgent, and the trivial ones. Try to prioritize. Okay. Channels motivation. You have to channel your motivation with people. Encourages others to achieve desired results. Encouragement creates enthusiasm and commitment in others. You are committed to make them happy, make them motivated, enjoying their job. You cannot motivate another person, no? Your people are already motivated. Knowing what motivates your associates and tying work tasks to those inner drives. What are the inner drives? To make them work hard, to make them go on further, improving further. There are inner drives. Find them out, like linking their motivation to your expectation. So your motivation, that what are their motivation? Then tell them this is what your expectation, so that it will be matching. Coach and develop. This is another competency. You are a coach guy, coach supervisor, or a developer. Gives timely, specific, constructive feedback. Provide challenge. Why you're giving feedback constructive? Why? Because you want to address, you reinforce the strength, and you want to address the weaknesses. Yeah, it's very important to feedback. You have to be honest with your employee. Provide challenging developmental assignments. Training employees is not the sole responsibility of the trainers or the training department. It is also your responsibility as supervisor in manufacturing, in production, in laboratory, in the warehouse. Try to be a trainer. If you are not a trainer yet, you have to attend train the trainer program with the training department. Please provide me the train the trainer program, because I want to train my own people. Okay. So when you are already equipped with the training competencies, then you'll be able to train other people. You are a frontline developer of your people. You develop your people. They cannot rely on somebody else. They can rely on you. You're the only hope for them to be developed. So you develop them. You have the capacity. Okay, you have the means to develop them. You develop them. Show, observe, give feedback, and suggest improvements in their performance. Be honest. Tell them this is what your weakness is. You have to improve on this area. This is the area of your improvement. Areas for improvement. So do it. Be honest, feedback. If you don't do that, then they will not know. They will not be aware that there are so many weaknesses that they have to address. Okay. Then let them be open for training and development. Micro teaching, in which you develop your people in necessary job skills one-on-one. Okay, and number 16, competency, provide direction. Provides clear direction and sets clear priorities. Fosters a common vision. Articulate and spelling out the vision, mission, purpose, and values of the organization. You have to make it clear, provide direction. You may make it clear to them that this is what the organization wants, the management wants. You have to abide by it. Enrolling your people and working collaboratively toward a shared vision. This should be shared vision. The SMART objective should be understood by all. UAO, again, UAO, understand, acceptance, and ownership. Work with your people to establish work priorities that are clearly aligned with the organization's goals. Okay, that's it for Module 2. We now go further, Module 3. And there are still more modules up to Module 8. Fundamentals of coaching. Very important for a supervisor to be a coach. Okay. Helping someone expand and apply skills, knowledge, and abilities by what? Teaching, motivating, listening, encouraging, setting goals. Okay. Teaching him how to do, how to improve his knowledge, like teach him how to read books, how to read bulletin, how to read service manuals. Teach him how to do that to get the knowledge, and teach him the skills, the motor skills, like the driving, the typing, operating of certain machineries. Teach him that. Okay, you have the systems and procedure in place in your training program, in your on-the-job training program. You do that, include that in your teaching. You are a coach. As a supervisor, you're a coach. Coaching is about improvement, development. Just like a coach of a basketball player, he's trying to develop. He's setting a goal of 1 year. Then after 1 year, he should be able to do a ball handling techniques, rebounding techniques, shooting the ball, passing the ball. Those are the areas that the coach will be able to will develop a basketball player. Okay, just like the operator, be able to do a pre-operational check on the machine, be able to maintain the machine, be able to work on the controls, digital controls, be able to, check all the components, things like that. So this is all development. Maybe you're putting him to a 3 months training, series of training, series of coaching, series of development, which is assessment. Motivating is also part of the coaching. You motivate people, come on, you urge him, you can do it. You motivate him. You put maybe put incentives or recognize his uh, improvement. No, like for example, he's already 1 week with you training. Then tell him, give him feedback. This is the things that you have improved. Good job. Keep up the good work. That's motivation. Okay, listening. You listen to your mentee. You listen. He will listen to you as a coach. You should listen in terms of his difficulty, in terms of his why no willingness in his on his side. So keep on listening. Be an empathic listener. If he's got some problems, you feel his problem. Encouraging is part of coaching. Is encouraging. Encourage him to go on, no matter how hard. Okay, no pain, no gain. So you have to encourage and setting goals. Setting goals. Okay, one month this will be your improvement. 2 months time this will be your improvement. 3 months there will be your improvement. Okay, you set the goals and see if you achieve all these goals, right? That is the okay. These are the responsibility or the techniques that the coach is going to do. No, teaching, motivating, listening, encouraging, and setting goals. If you do all this, you'll be successful, coach. Okay. Use the coaching matrix to determine your coaching approach. Assess coach. I cannot see it. Assess each person in relation to each task. Every task that you assign him and coach him with, you have to assess. Why? This is where you make the changes in your approach to coaching. If you don't assess, you don't know where you're going. You don't know your present situation in terms of the learning of the person. You have to assess. Don't fall into patterns of behavior that lead to over or under coaching. You have to know where you are going. What are the things that you're going to do? Things that you're going to accomplish to coach him. Okay, use this matrix to coach the person. What is this matrix? There are two areas, motivation / confidence. He's motivated to do the work. The other one in the y-axis is the skills ability. The skills / ability. There are two, low and high on motivation confidence, low and high for the skills ability. You have encourage, delegate, direct, and teach. Let's say, for example, you are low in terms of skills, low in terms of motivation. Give direction, give instruction, direction. You have to be close to him, really teach him, coach him properly, and teach him the step by step, etc. Okay, very direct direction, give direction, give instruction to learn, to have motivation, and to have ability. Okay. Okay. Now the skills ability is high, but the motivation is still low. You have to encourage to increase the motivation. In terms of skills ability is high, it's okay. Maintain, just maintain. But do the encouragement because of the low motivation. When it comes to skills ability is low, but the motivation is high. No need to encourage him. Okay? Because the motivation is very motivated and is very eager to do the job. He has the willingness to do the job. So it's high. but the skills is still low. You teach him the skills and ability. Okay. When it comes to high motivation and skills, just delegate. Give him the job. He can do it. Just wait for the results. Okay. So when you coach somebody and you make assessment and you see where he is, did he need direction? Did he need encouragement? Did he need teaching, or did he just wants to be delegated? Find out whether it's low or high in motivation, or low or high in skills and ability. Oh. Find out which quadrant you are in this situation, so that you can do your own coaching. Okay. Okay. Supervisor as coaches. Supervisor are coaches. Special coaching issues result from the supervisor-employee relationship. The coach also is the appraiser of performance. You appraise the performance of your employee so that you will be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses. The performance of the person being coached directly affects the performance of the coach. So if your person is not learning, it affects the performance of the coach. The coach will not perform well. If the coach will not perform, is not performing, then the performance of the person will be low and will not be able to learn. So there should be energy between the person being coached and the coach energy. Okay, very important. The coach is so proficient at the job of the person being coached that it is second nature to the coach. It's only second nature. He can do it anytime, anywhere. He can coach any person. Okay, it's only a second nature. Potential impacts. Okay, this could be a negative, negative effect. So what are the potential impact? Unrealistic expectations of the coach. The coach is expecting this person to learn in just 1 month, but he made a mistake. The person did not learn it in 1 month. He learned it in 3 months or 6 months. The person is a slow learner. So failure in expectation and realistic. So you have the coach should assess. This operator will learn in 1 month, and true to his word, the operator learned in 1 month. Oh, so that's realistic expectation. That will be a potential impact if the coach is having unrealistic expectations. Unwillingness of employee to admit coaching needs. Or the person is stubborn. He's a stubborn person. He is unwilling, not willing to learn, not willing to learn from the coach. Okay. He says he doesn't need it. He's already good. Because he's not seeing himself. He's not seeing his what do you call weaknesses. Other person will see it, but not himself. Impatience and criticism from the coach. The coach is too impatient. The person is giving coaching to a person. This is what you're going to do. Practice this. He does not understand. He doesn't learn the activity that the coach is giving him. He's still not learning. The coach already gave him the techniques and he's still not learning. The coach are giving him the instruction twice, 3 times, 4 times already, still not learning. Then the impatience of the coach will grow and the criticism from the coach will grow. And the coach will lose interest. Okay. This is again would be give a potential impacts, negative impacts to the result of the coaching. Lowered confidence and self-esteem in the person being coached. There is no motivation, the confidence is very low, and the self-esteem is very low. This would give a potential impact. These issues can be overcome by recognizing the person being coached is not you. So the person that you are coaching is not you. He's not a fast learner. He doesn't know anything yet. You are expecting him to know fast, you know. So person to person are different. There are fast learner, there are slow learner, and coach is good. You're good already because you've been in that situation for a long time already. You gain experience, you have knowledge and expertise. So therefore, it's easy for you to say. But what about the new guy? So you have to adjust to that situation where you have a really newbie or a rookie. Separating coaching activities from performance management activities, setting realistic goals together. You have to agree on the goal. Uh, Peter will do the training for the next 3 months. Do you think we can do it? Yes, sir. I have confidence that we can do it. Okay. So our goal will be 3 months, right? We'll learn the module 1, module 2, module 3 of the operating procedure, etc. Okay. So you have to set the realistic goals together. Okay. It should be realistic. Otherwise, you will not succeed. Okay. Let's go to module 4, coaching skills and practices. What we'll consider in this, a definition of its competency, why its competency is of vital importance to newly appointed supervisor, and a step-by-step action plan for your self-improvement. Delegating tasks, assigning tasks effectively to others while maintaining responsibility for results. Consider skill level of employee and challenge level of assignment. So you need a developmental strategy for this. It has to be developed. Remember, this is coaching skills and practices. Okay. Consider skill level of employee and challenge level of assignment. Then a developmental strategy. Managing task readiness. You have to manage. If not ready yet, do not assign in that task. If it's ready, then manage it. You have to manage whether the employee is ready or not. Okay. Look at the readiness of the employee, the readiness level of employee. Is he ready or not? Can he do the job or not? You have to coach that. Effectiveness of delegation as a ceiling on leadership effectiveness. No, in terms of delegation, effectiveness of delegation, that will be ceiling on leadership effectiveness. You are able to delegate properly and timely and effectively, then you'll become an effective leader. Communicating instructions, showing the employee how to accomplish the task, and clarifying when, where, how much, and to what standard it should be done. It's very clear, the communication instruction. The critical for unfamiliar task. Okay. You have to be critical for unfamiliar task, not familiar to you. Then you have to be critical. Avoid keeping them in the dark. No, you have to be explained. You have to learn everything. You have to understand. There are questions, there are doubts in his mind, then make it clear again. No, good communication instructions given to them. Avoid keeping them in the dark. Some employees are shy. They will just do it just for the sake of following you as his supervisor, and he's afraid to ask question. So be clear to him. Avoid leave alone zap. So if he is doing good and he understands the job and you have delegated for him, then leave him alone. You just zap him when he's doing so many mistakes. I thought you already know the job. How come you're having so many mistakes? And you zap him. Okay? You scold him for not telling you the truth that he's having difficulty in doing the job. That's why you leave it alone, zap. Setting task performance goals, collaborating with employees to establish short and long-term goals for performance of particular tasks. So you have to have goals that you set, task performance goals. What are the performance for this? We can do it. We can accomplish it. Okay. You do the goal. Difference between goals and objectives measurement. The goals is that like long-term, right? Objective is like specific and short short, time bound. Goals is the ultimate result that you want. First goals, then measurable objectives. You have to have goals. What is your goals? To be complete, uh, you know, full-fledged machine operator. Okay, that is your goal. What is your objectives? Objectives is he should understand how to read manuals. Should understand how to to operate the digital controls, etc., etc. So those are your specific objectives or measurable objectives. Goal to become a 100% operator. Objectives, maybe every module. Desired outcomes and metrics. You have to look at the desired outcome. What would be your desired outcomes, and then the measurement in terms of metrics. Okay. So when you measure it, you will know that the outcomes are good. When you measure it, it has attained the goal that you have set. Okay. Okay. Number 4, providing task relevant feedback. Feedback very important in your task performance. Carefully observing the employee's performance of on individual tasks and sharing these observations in a non-threatening manner. Best done one-on-one. Feedback should be one-on-one. This is your problem. These are your issues. These are your weakness. Why you did not perform on this task because of this, because of that. One-on-one. You don't want to embarrass the person. You want him to learn. Okay, focus on the feedback. He will be focused. If there are other listening, he will not be focused on the feedback because he is aware that there are guys around him listening, like in a meeting. Don't do it collective approach. Do it one-on-one. Concrete observation. There should be have concrete observation of your feedback. You'll feedback this, meaning you have observed, you have experienced the things that you have observed. So you have concrete observation, and this will be the basis of your feedback. Positive verbal reinforcement. Okay, you make positive verbal reinforcement like thank you for doing a good job. Okay, in this aspect you are doing good, or you try to improve that further. That's reinforcement, verbal. Improvement suggestion is like, okay, in terms of the pre-operational check, you're still very, still not good. You have to improve on this. You have to improve on that. Okay, that's how you do it. Then number 5, rewarding improvement. People are not doing this, but this is actually critical. This is important. If you want to have a motivated people, you're coaching, you're trying to do, make him do his work good, then you have to have reward. Using formal and informal means to stock employees in making progress on the accomplishment of mission critical tasks. Don't wait for task perfection. You do it right away. You encourage him to continue. Okay, you pat on the back, or you recognize the things that he's already done good, and look for growth, continuous growth. Use formal and informal rewards to shape effective task behavior. Recognition is the most important. Dealing with failure. As a supervisor, you have to understand there are failures. Whether you like it or not, there will be failures. You have already trained him for 1 month, 2 months, and still making failures. Or maybe even you making failures. So try to understand that you can make any adjustment for this. Okay? So inability or unwillingness of the worker, try to find out why is he failing, because of inability, no skills, or unwillingness, not motivated. Reprimanding, reassigning, retraining, or otherwise cleaning up the situation. I would say, okay, reprimand, and sometime reprimand, but retraining is okay. The best way of doing it is retraining. Reassigning, okay, is also okay. especially if the person is incorrigible or not cannot be corrected. So, make a reassignment. Some get fired, others demoted. People, for me, firing is not the solution. Maybe there are problems in terms of your coaching, of your management of the person. Maybe you need, try to find a way. Try to find why there are failures. There are some way. Maybe the problem is not him, not the employee himself. Maybe the problem is you as a coach. No, you're not really that close to doing good for this guy. Still, others learn more slowly. So you have to learn. You have to accept yourself that there are slow learner person and there's a fast learner person. Working with personal problems. So that's why there is no success, because there is problem. You have to find out. You have to be an empathic listener. Try to listen. Listening empathically and non-judgmentally, and offering emotional support for non-work difficulties. Interfering with the work. Yeah. Does the problem, personal problems, interfering with the work? If it is, then find out. Find out. Because it is interfering the work. That's why there is failure. Over your head. Okay? Over your head. The problems is over your head already. Cannot be controlled. It's going out of control. Going out of hand. Making referrals. Okay. Counseling. Somebody will talk. Somebody will help out. Talk to this guy. Give a pep talk. The guys who are good, like in HR, because most of the HR managers are like be a psychology graduate, no? So they know how to do counseling work. Okay, providing support in terms of maybe resources, maybe need resources. Okay, in solving personal problems could be resources also. You can support this. Maybe financial support, loans, or something else. If the problem, especially if the problem is about financial, family problems. Okay, confronting difficult situations, opening up uncomfortable topics that are impacting the work in one-on-one meetings with employees. Okay, you have to talk. You have to confront the employee. Whether you like it or not, you have to do it. Yeah, you have to do it one-on-one because you don't want to embarrass the person. Okay, there are supervisors who are talking to the person in this situation, and they're talking in front of other people, and the person that we're referring to is really getting embarrassed, and instead of solving problems, you are making the problem grow bigger. Discussing the non-discussables, so try to make him or her open to you and discuss things which are the non-discussables. Try to persuade if you can. This is I'm open for you. I'm here to help you out. I'm here to whatever your problems are. No, I'm here to help you, and this is just between you and me. It will not cascade to other people. And I'm keeping it to myself. Whatever problems that you have, you can try to let him be open to you. Opening up discomforts, that is what you call. When in doubt, confront. When all else fails, try honesty. Be honest. Be frank. Courage, diplomacy, and tact. You should do this. You should have the courage to talk, to the person. There are supervisors who are a bit scared, in delving with other personal situation or difficult situation of the person. You should have the courage and diplomacy. You try to be diplomatic and tactful. You tactful, don't talk unnecessary things or things that can hurt the person and make the problem even grow bigger. Okay. Responding to requests, consulting with employees on an as needed basis, making win-win decisions. when you make decision, it's good for the employee, it's good for the company. What is that? Win-win decision. You try to make everybody win. You know, when you are boxing, there should be one win and one loss. In basketball, one win, one loss. But in this situation, it should be win-win, both winner. The the organization is a winner. The employee is also a winner. Try to make that decision as as realistically as possible. You are the organization, and your responses may have legal implications. It may have legal. If there is no legal implication, there would be definitely be a win-win decision. But the problem is there are legal implications, which try to be diplomatic, try to explain and make him or her understand the implications, legal implications. He will understand. So, only needs talking, communicating, making him her or her understand. Care and responding, avoiding promises you can or won't keep. Do not make any promises. Do not commit to that promises that you cannot keep. Otherwise, that person will expect. Say, oh, we can do it after 1 month, after 2 months. Don't do that. Okay, should be playing safe also. Yeah, try to make him happy, her happy, but at the same time, you are not, putting the company in a precarious situation where there will be legal implications of request. Like maybe he is trying to recommend his wife or her husband to work with her in the same company. Oh, that would be legal implications, right? Uh, Policy is implication is also legal implication. It's against the policy, then do not make promises. You act as a consultant, not as a boss or a manager or a supervisor to him or her. You are a consultant. He's trying to consult you, and you are trying to give feedback, and you're trying to help as a consultant, not as a boss supervisor. Following through, no? Monitoring the outcomes of coaching individuals and providing additional assistance when necessary. Okay? Whatever action plans that you have put in place. Okay. Whatever it is, you have to follow through. No? Monitoring the outcomes of coaching individuals and providing additional assistance when necessary. You have to follow through. What is the current situation now? What are we now? Where are we now? And what would be the next steps? Okay, so staying close to observe, give feedback and encouragement, because the employee will not give it to you, will not give you feedback, will not revert to you, will not communicate to you. If you just hang on and wait for the employee, that will never happen. Okay, so you have to make the initiative. You have to stay close. You have to observe. You have to give feedback, observe, make observation, and make encouragement. No, running interference for your people. Make interference when it is necessary. Obtaining resources to support your people. You have to propose the management, the resources that the people need for them to enjoy their job, for them to be happy, motivated. If you are working with very limited resources, then everybody will not be happy. That's for sure. So you will be the bridge, okay, in making the people happy, supporting them financially from the budget, other resources. Maybe more people will be given. Like for example, 2 people working on something and they're having difficulty because they need 2 more additional people to make 4 people. Oh, you add to that resources. You are a supervisor, you have the power to do it. If you cannot do it, then who else can do it? People will wait for you, they are followers. They need help. They need assistance from you as supervisor. So you have to do it. Okay, let's go to fundamental of delegation, module 5. Okay, now we're going to delegate the job. This is one of the responsibility of the supervisor. One of the competency also. You should be able to do, should know the art of delegation. You know how to delegate. To allow supervisors to spend their time and energy where their contributions are most valuable. Okay? To, so that is why you delegate. Why delegate? To allow supervisors to spend their time and energy where their contributions are most valuable. Like what? Like doing some planning, like doing maybe attending some meetings. That's why you're delegating the work, because you are other things that you have to do. That is why you delegate. So to distribute work among team members so it can be accomplished more efficiently. That's why in the job description, this is the responsibility. Responsibility number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Then you delegate. This is for you, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That is why you delegate. You distribute evenly, equally. You have to have a fair treatment, equity, to distribute work among team members so it can be accomplished more efficiently rather than you yourself doing it. Oh, that's why you need people under you. That's why you have an organizational structure. You analyze the job, and these are the job that needs to be done by some guys. That's why you you recruit and hire some people. Okay. To increase the commitment of team members to the organization. There will be more commitment, and they will be motivated, and they will be happy doing it. They will be motivated doing it. Okay. They will be excited in doing it because you make them, participate. They already have participation. Everybody are happy doing it. Because why? What are their interests? Their interest is to learn, to improve their learning curve. That is their interest. To learn more, to gain more experience. That is their interest. To satisfy their excitement. That is their interest. That's why they want to contribute. And why delegate? To develop team members. You have to develop them. If you're not delegating, they will not be developing. Okay. So why we don't delegate? The other one is positive. Why we delegate? This one is negative. Why we don't delegate? Why? What's the reason? I can do the task better myself. Oh, really? You can do the task better myself? Why? Because you have not done the training and development of your guys. That's why you're still the one who can do the task better. You have to train and develop your guys for them to make it better for you. Okay? You need somebody. You're not alone. You're not alone in this world. You need somebody. It will take too much time to explain what I want. Why it's taking too much time to explain? Because you have not again trained and developed the person. I can do that as faster myself. Why? Again, you did not train and develop the person. That's why you're still the faster one. I don't want to burden my overworked staff. Why? Why you burden? Because there are more X and Y employees. Okay? There are less Y employees that who can learn, who can do the job. Therefore, they are overworked. You delegated to those few guys, but the majority guys are having nothing to do. Again, it's something to do with the training and development. So many things that can be solved by training and development. Okay. I enjoy doing this task. Why you enjoy doing this task? You should not be a supervisor if you're doing the staff work or the technicians work or the operators work. You remain as operator or technician because you enjoy doing it. It means you're not enjoying a supervisor, then you go back to to being a technician or operator. This task is so important. I can't trust anyone else to do it. You are not having trust. Why? Because again, you did not train those guys and develop those guys. That's why you don't trust them. If I can do the task myself, I have no right to ask anyone else to do it. Again, it's matter of trusting somebody. So this is the reason why we don't delegate. So if you address all these things, then you'll be able to delegate, and you'll be happy delegating some of your routine tasks to somebody. Now we'll be talking about trust and delegation. For each task to be delegated, consider your trust of the team members. You have to ask two factors: motivation, do they want to do the task? And then the skill level, are they fully capable of doing the task? Those are the things that you're going to put in mind. So this is the matrix that I want you to also to apply in doing your delegation. So here above here is trust skills, yes or no? Trust, do you trust motivation, yes or no? Trust, you trust him or her? Yes. You trust his skills? Yes. You trust his or her motivation? Yes. So fully delegate. Fully delegate. Now the question is, no, in terms of you don't trust his skills? No. Trust motivation? Yes. Develop. Already motivated to do the job? Yes. But the problem is skill, lacking the skill. So you have to develop in terms of the skills. Develop the person. Put him in OJT, on the job training and development. Now it comes to trust. Yes. Oh, I trust him very much. I know he can do the job. But the problem is his motivation. No. You have to manage the motivation. You already have the trust in skills. He can do the job. But the problem is motivation. You manage it. Give encouragement. Pep talks, one-on-one talks, etc. Feedback. Now, when it comes to trust skills, no. And trust motivation, no. Then redeploy. You redeploy. Maybe you reassign to other not so complex activity. Maybe the problem is the complexity of the job. That's why he has no self-confidence, no motivation, and then therefore no skills. So redeploy or fully train the person before reassigning again. Okay? So try to utilize this matrix if you have a problem in terms of trust delegation, trust skills, and trust motivation. Okay? Okay. So these are the 4 approaches I have discussed already. Fully delegate, give full responsibility for completing the task of the team member. Already 4:39. Develop, work with the team member to complete the task or assign additional development resources. Manage, monitor progress closely to ensure schedules are met. Redeploy, find another task to delegate to this person. So the handoff, what is the handoff? Turnover. It's like turnover. Provide the big picture. Why is the task important? Okay, this is why we're doing it. Why we're doing this activity. This is the requirement. This is the goal. These are the things that we're going to do. So you provide all the big picture. Give a clear definition of the deliverable or the desired results of completing the task. Provide schedule or deadline expectation. Oh, we should be completing it in 1 month's time. Verify adequate skill and resource availability. Verify if the skills can do it. If he has training and development, he has competency. He is competent person as far as that specific activity is concerned. And resource ability, there are materials, are there machines, are there tools that he can use, are there machinery? No. Try to see if there are resources. Agree on follow-up steps if any are needed. Okay, we come back one week after. Let's see what's the progress of the plan. Okay. Give direction regarding what is needed and when not, how to do things. So effective delegation is consider commitment and development concerns. Consider motivation and skill level. Ensure a good handoff or turnover. Never delegate responsibility without authority because this can lead to disempowerment. Okay, let's go for module 6, labor law for new supervisor. These are questions that you have to ask. Since I don't think you will answer these questions, okay, then I'm going to answer it myself. If you want to answer the question, you can answer the question. But if not, I'm going to do it myself. Okay. Okay. Let's go to number 1 question. True or false? This is just true or false. Law protects employees. Yes or true or false? Okay. True. Okay. Law protects employees more than the employers. Okay. That's why there is what you call dole, no? Dole. Dole protects us. The other one in CR, I forgot. True or false? In the application of labor law, organizations accused of illegal labor practices are often considered guilty until proven innocent. The organization is always presumed guilty. Okay, true. Until proven innocent, you have the burden to prove your innocence. So tell us, okay, one individual go to the labor law office and tell him and try to complain that the employer is doing some malpractice, labor malpractice. Okay, so okay, you have to prove your innocence. The labor office will say, okay, try to prove your innocence, that you're innocent. We'll always side with the employee first. Okay, this is under ULP by Bureau of Labor Relations. Okay, malpractice, labor malpractice. They are the one looking after this. Unfair ULP, unfair labor practice by Bureau of Labor Relations. And also another arbiter is in NLRC, National Labor Relations Commission. They're doing that. Okay, true or false? An organization can be found guilty of allowing sexual harassment even in cases in which leaders have no previous knowledge of the offending behavior. True. Okay, true. This is true. Very important. This is in the this is stipulated in the labor law. This should be stipulated also in the policy of the company. After working 48 hours, a non-exempt employee. What's a non-exempt employee? Non-exempt employee is receiving hourly rate. They are paid per hour, so they are entitled to overtime. So a non-exempt, like supervisor, they're not entitled to overtime. Managers, they're not entitled to overtime. Even if they come back to the company to solve some issues during the wee hours of night, they will not be paid for that additional compensation. So non-exempt employee comes into work on a weekend to finish some tasks he or she should have completed during the week. Even if the employee is willing to do this weekend work for free and the supervisor did not authorize overtime, the employee must be paid overtime for the weekend work. So if you are disagreeing with me, please say so. You can speak. You speak up. Don't be shy. Okay, if you disagree with me. So the company still have to pay. Okay, this is a non-exempt employee. The employee has rendered this work. Maybe the supervisor, no prior approval because the supervisor is not currently present. Okay, he's out. So therefore, authorization will come afterwards. But the company has to be paid overtime because the weekend work is not included in the compensation. Okay, the weekend work is not included. He's paid hourly or non-exempt. Non-exempt is entitled to overtime. You have to remember all this because this can be applied to your work. Okay, as a supervisor. So you have to remember all this. Legally, an organization can discharge an employee at any time for any reason. Wrong. This is false. It has to undergo due process. Okay? You have to issue verbal warning, You have to issue stringent warning. You have to issue memo, cause of memo, uh, memo. What you call that? Memo, cause of uh, cause memo, a show cause memo rather. You have to issue show cause memo again. Issue show cause memo, show cause memo. Okay, let him explain. Let her explain aside. Then you have to take that into consideration, etc., etc. Okay, it should be due process. Okay, not just any reason. Unless he's being caught stealing company property, caught in the act, and you can actually terminate right away. And it will be a case. If he files in the court, the case will be filed in the court, and you also will be filed in the court for theft. For theft. Okay. If a supervisor tells an employee that he or she will have a job in that organization for life, the organization is obligated to employ that employee until he or she dies. No, this is false. The company will not be obligated to employ that until he or she dies. There are certain limit. That's why there is a, uh, termination clause. There is retirement clause, the retirement plan for every employee. Oh, you cannot keep the employee until no matter how old he is, like 75, 85, still living until he dies. You cannot do that. That's against the law. True or false, it's okay for a supervisor to search or inspect an employee's workstation, desk, cubicle, locker. Yes, true. They have the right because this is company property. Whether you put something personal there or not, it's up to you. Because this desk, cubicle, locker, this is not for personal. This is for company use. This is also true with the computer. They have the right to monitor the computer. Okay. If you want privacy, you use your own email. Okay. It should be, supervisors should have the right, especially if they are thinking or that something is being hidden, substance being hidden in the desk, cubicle, locker. They have the right to do it. Okay. It's not personal. It's okay for a supervisor to give bad job reference regarding a former employee if the reference can be substantiated by written performance appraisal. Okay, if it's really that bad, yeah, yes, he can do that. Okay, he can give non reference also. Like for example, the employee has done bad things while he's employed. You don't want to pass on the problem to the next employer, correct? True or false, organizations have legal right to monitor email internet usage. Yes, you have the right to. That's why some companies are having a policy. It's stated in the policy that they are monitoring your email and internet usage, especially internet. You are not allowed to use social media like Facebook or YouTube. Okay, an email is for business use. You are being provided email not for personal use but business use. So it's not something that you're going to hide. You're going to have privacy. No. Okay. After work, an employee tells his her supervisor and friend in confidence that she has a medical problem that may make the job unsafe for him, her. The supervisor is obligated to act on this information. Yes, true. This is true. Especially if the medical issues is a big issue, maybe heart problem, cancer, or whatever. It has to be the company has the right to know about this. It's a high risk situation. Okay, let's go to module 7, legal consideration for supervisors. Okay, all supervisors are managers, are agents of the organization 24 hours a day. That's why you are an exempt employee. You are paid 1 month. Okay, and anytime you are be called upon to resolve some issues anytime 24/7. Okay. And you are agents of the organization. You represent the organization. Anything you say or do, that would be your conduct within the organization, and that would be the action of the organization and the accountability of the organization. So are responsible for you. If you do something outside of the organization that will affect, that will give impact to the organization will be accountable and responsible for you. Okay? So because supervisor or managers are really, it's like owning a company. It's like owning company. They own the company. Something like that. They are being remunerated 24/7. Part of remuneration. Okay? So example of conduct, knowledge, promises, requests. Okay? Knowledge, anything you know, no matter how you learn it. Organizational knowledge, that's organization. Especially it's something to do with the the formula of the company. That is secret. Okay? Confidential matter. You are not allowed to divulge to anybody. That's a corporate secret. Okay. Do you know how the Coca-Cola is being mixed? Do you know how the San Miguel beer being mixed? You don't know. You don't know the formula. Okay, you don't know the ingredients. That's secret. If you divulge that, then the company will will sue you in court for divulging some information. Okay, conduct promises. Any reasonable promise you make, accountability of the organization. So if you promise to give this guy job, if you promise to give this job sales, if you promise to give this guy commission, that is you represent the organization as supervisor manager. Okay, so promises regarding continued employment, confidentiality, and others. Okay, you should have the responsibility and you should be accountable for it because the company has given you empowerment, given you certain level of authority. Okay, it comes to request, anything you request, an order from the organization. So asking an employee to buy material, to buy anything, request, which is against the law, against the policy, then that's a big problem. Now, when it comes to privacy limits regarding certain issues like employees' reason for requesting medical leave, discrimination or harassment issues, violation of law or matters of public policy. There are limits regarding certain issues like these examples. Employment limits regarding employees' rights. Example, retaliation against an employee. This is against. This is a no.